Good morning, guys. It's Alex again, currently in Giza, Egypt. As you see behind me, epic view. I have the keys to a very special apartment I'm gonna show you in just a moment. But first, let's talk a bit about my experience in Egypt. So I spent an entire week here. On the first day, we explored the pyramids of Giza. It was pretty exciting. Make sure to check out that video. On the second day, we've been to Cairo. On the third day, it was my birthday, and we went to explore the Bent Pyramid, not so known, so make sure to look at that as well. Then we took a bus to go to Hurghada, and it was a pretty exciting trip. We spent an entire day in the area there, did some island hopping and snorkeling, and then I got a pretty bad sunburn, so I don't want to stay in the sun for too long. We just chilled a bit in the apartment, and I figured, why shouldn't I show you? So as I said, we're currently in Giza. We have a beautiful terrace here, but let me show you what's inside. Follow me. So we have here our little passage, always the pyramid view on the side. Actually here, pretty cute. I still don't know what it is. We have like a little courtyard, some palm trees. So this is 30 euros a night, booked on Airbnb. Pretty cool. Come in. Yeah, I mean, you have a pretty good overlook. It's pretty simple. 2 beds. We actually put them together for the time being here. You see all 3 pyramids, kinda, one is hiding a bit in the back. I have to admit though, the pictures on Airbnb looked a bit different. I think they used a different angle, maybe like 3x or something. The pyramids looked way bigger, but I don't complain. But one thing that I don't like so much is the fact I thought this was gonna be my private balcony. But as you just saw, there's a huge terrace on the side, which is used by all of the guests here. So I think this is a house owned by a family, and they rent out lots and lots of Airbnb on every floor. So we had to share this area, and you can see the glass is a bit dark. It has a slight tint on it, but if the sun is shining through here, you see everything. So that sucked a bit. So basically we had to close our curtains most of the time because otherwise people would see us here. That sucks a bit, but let me show you a bit more. Like obviously some of our stuff is here. We have our charging station, and what I really love about this Airbnb is the hospitality of the host. So every day he's bringing us some water like this. Super important. I wouldn't recommend drinking tap water in Egypt. Haven't really tried it, don't want to try it specifically. So he always brings us some water, so we basically didn't spend anything on that. We have like a little coffee station here. This, guys, I'm not sure what's in it, but 3-in-1 coffee. Tastes pretty good. He kept bringing it to us, so super nice. I mean, pretty chill kitchen. You see everything you need. So I was expecting that the Airbnb would have a great view. The pictures were very nice and everything, and they took it at the best possible moment, and I was already expecting like maybe a not so nice bathroom, but honestly I am surprised. Everything amazing, cannot complain about anything. And my favorite part of this apartment, because we have currently 40 degrees outside, is this little guy here. So AC, I think it's really good to have. Actually, I'm gonna let it run for a bit. I hope it's not too loud. But yeah, let's sit down here for a bit and talk about my time in Egypt. So as I just mentioned, I truly love the hospitality of our host. And yeah, I guess you can enjoy the view for a little bit. I'm gonna tell you a couple of things. So first of all, great apartment. I saw on Airbnb you have lots and lots of options. But yeah, I think what makes this apartment so great and what makes up for this missing balcony, which I had imagined in my head, is just the friendliness of the host. So the water is one thing. They cooked a dinner for us yesterday, which was super nice. It was truly really delicious home cooked meal. They just offered it to us. I'm interested to see if they're gonna ask for a tip or not, because I'm used to Egyptians always asking for a tip afterwards, but we can talk about that in a moment. So on the way here, we had a tough time getting from the airport to come here because everybody was giving us crazy prices at the airport. So we walk out already like $50 to Giza, $30 to Giza. Everybody was throwing around these crazy numbers, and we tried to negotiate, but it was just so tiring because everybody wanted us there. It was the middle of the night. We agreed on 700 Egyptian pounds to come from Sphinx Airport to here to Giza. So after a couple of minutes, he already started saying how 700 is not enough, if we could give him a tip. and so on and so forth. And then we arrived here at the bottom of our apartment. The owner of the Airbnb, or I think his son, actually picked us up, talked to the driver, we gave him the 700, it was fine. I think if our Airbnb host didn't help us out there, we would be stuck with the driver for a while negotiating the price. So really grateful for the first situation already. And then just every time we were unsure, we went to Dashur, we weren't sure how there it's gonna be with the driver situation. He offered us to send us a private car, worst case. It's just so great. So I think it's definitely worth investing a bit more into apartment, and especially on the day where we went to the Red Sea, we got a super bad sunburn. I can still feel it, and just having this nice apartment to come back to and to relax in, you know, we laid on the bed, this beautiful view. It's truly nice and I can only recommend it. And yeah, what else can I tell you? Overall, the Egyptians are pretty interesting. So as I said, we've been to the pyramids on the first day. I already knew that there would be some scams, especially with the camel rides. I understand that it's a tourist attraction, but we still got a bit scammed, like more or less. You know, you agree on the price. It was also 700 Egyptian pounds, just like with the taxi. We agreed on the price, we get onto the camel, and after a couple of moments, you know, so guys, from this point you can either go alone with the camels, or if you want me to stay with you as a guide, 500 Egyptian pounds extra. My friend, where is this coming from, you know? So I had a lot of moments like that, and it's just so frustrating. And also to talk a bit about the area here. So obviously they all know that we're tourists and we have a little bit of money, because just coming here, you have to pay for the flights, apartment, They know that we're willing to spend some money. I got so scared. Oh, there's a dog stuck. Oh, she just grabbed the bird. Yeah, so we just had a bird stuck here, but I think the lady figured it out. Anyways, so just to give you a little bit of an idea of the area here, as I said, they know that you're a tourist, they know that you have some money, but for me it's just so frustrating. They give you like triple the price, and for me, I know I'm being how do you say it? The price is just overpriced when it's basically the same as in Central Europe, you know? But yeah, also here the restaurant, just down the street, we sat down, they served us some food, and we said no drinks, thank you. He put some water on the table, which is fine, you know, we didn't open it. We thought that it might be charged extra. He also gave us like some chips, but there you could also think that it's part of the menu, and basically a tomato salad. I was very sure that it's part of the menu. Basically, there was also tomatoes on the picture of the menu. So the price we should have paid was 280. So we picked everything from the menu, 280. We finished eating. He gives us the receipt, 380. Where's the 100 coming from? And then he says, well, the salad is 20 and the chips is 20 and the water is 50 and the water, We didn't touch anything of it, first of all. And second of all, like, I don't like this. I don't mind paying extra, but just be transparent with me. You can put my food on the table and then say, would you like an extra tomato salad? I would really recommend it, 20 Egyptian pounds extra. But just putting it on my table and then expecting me to pay for it without any worries is a bit not so nice. And I had a lot of different interactions like this in this neighborhood. So if you're staying right by the pyramids, make sure to know what decent prices are, because otherwise every time going out you just overpay. And of course it's not that much money for us maybe as travelers, but I always believe if you just spend, you're gonna run out of it. And I think it's so much nicer to spend money for activities instead of for food. And always save where you can, because it doesn't hurt. You can always put it into something else. And I love tipping, like also in Germany when I go out for a coffee, I love to tip the barista. But let me decide myself, don't ask for a tip. So I took a picture of you, give me a tip, you know? So in this area, be mindful of that. So we arrived here on Sunday, in the middle of the night basically. We spent the entire Sunday here, the entire week. Today is Saturday, and we're gonna leave tonight, so we have half a day left. And I would just recommend you, if you're picking an Airbnb, make sure to maybe stay a couple of days in different areas. So we stayed, as I said, one entire week in this Airbnb, and we double paid the night, because last moment we decided to go to the Red Sea. We booked a bus, we booked a super cheap hostel there, and we basically decided whatever, we're gonna keep paying for this room. We left some of our stuff here, it was fine, you know, and we came back to it. But now looking back, I think the best option is to maybe spend 2-3 nights in the middle of Cairo, 2 nights here by the pyramids, and then maybe a couple of nights down by the Red Sea, wherever you prefer. Of course, you can spend an entire week in Giza alone, but for us, we just wanted to see as much as possible in this little time frame. So I hope you enjoyed a little bit of my monologue. Obviously, there's not so much to show in the apartment, but I thought I might as well give you some advice for on the way. And now it's basically time to check out. I'm gonna show you a bit of Giza down here. We're not really sure what we're gonna do right now, just because we have a really bad sunburn. It's advised to stay out of the sun, and it's super hot outside, currently 40 degrees I believe. And yeah, maybe we're gonna go do something indoor, maybe go to a mall, maybe go to the museum. We really wanted to go to Cairo again. We didn't see that much of Cairo, but I guess we'll have to come back again. And yeah, well, let me show you a bit of the exterior of the building itself, of the street, of the vibes here. And yeah, I think it's time to say goodbye to this beautiful view. I think we are on the perfect level. If you go down a bit lower, pretty much, hit my hand, pretty much on the street down there, you barely see the pyramid, so you have to walk down there. I think it's like a 5 to 10 minute walk. Super amazing. Let's go out. And so, time to say goodbye to the Airbnb. Super funny, we have no roof. This is what I'm talking about. Ours looks pretty fine. So we're just gonna walk down. Super hot, guys. Amazing, thank you so much. Thank you for the dinner.
This is your home here.
Thank
We
you so
will
much.
enjoy.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
See you later, alligator.
Yeah, see you
Look
later.
at that. Bye, see you down.
So just met the person I think we were texting with all the time, the owner, the dad. And as I said, we had a lot of contact with the son. He helped us out on the arrival, and always different people bringing the water. So that's why I figured that it's a family business. Here, pretty cool garage, pretty cool cars. They all have the spoiler I really like. So this is the street that we come out to. A lot of tuk-tuks driving here. I'm just gonna show you real quick how it is here. Basically, pretty colorful and interesting fence. One thing that I really like is we have a supermarket right here, ATM right here. Honestly, I think I'm gonna walk back and we're just gonna catch a in-drive taxi right to where we have to go. But this is basically the supermarket I was talking about, and we also have the ATM right next to it. And there you have one of the pyramids. Basically, you walk straight, there's a little fence, but you have to walk around it, and then 5 minutes down there and you're by the pyramids. Beautiful palm trees here. Oh, look at the birds. Looks so nice. But as I said, 40 degrees, super hot. Thank you. I would like to stay out of the sun, so you get a bit of the vibe from the neighborhood. Maybe I had a couple of clips from the first day to show you a bit more. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little apartment tour and a little bit of insights from Egypt. Definitely want to come back here, but now we will just go on a little bit of adventure. We have 7 more hours here, and yeah, see you again in the next one.